it's really interesting because the last time that we spoke, you were quite optimistic in terms of being able to reopen hotels and also hire back anybody that you laid off. And we've learned overnight that you've got a first half net loss of 1.51 billion euros and you plan to cut 1,000 jobs. Is this as bad as it's going to get for you, or is there worse to come?
Well, if I knew I'd be a king, I simply don't know. Do I believe the peak, the worst is behind us? Absolutely. We've been reopening hotels ever since, and since the lockdown have been terminated in many countries. So it's been gradually recovering. I hope it would have been faster, but unless we're going to have a very deep second wave, I don't see things worsening for me. The occupancy is back, domestic leisure is back, my employees are back at the hotel. So there's a spirit of positivism going to the company. We're here to fight. We're here to actually resist. We've been resisting actually as good as I expected. The numbers are not a surprise. It should be a surprise to you, not a surprise to anybody. My hotels have been virtually closed for the months of May, April, and June. So nothing much we could have done. Now, there's many things we can do because the business is marginally back, but it is certainly on a good trend.
Sebastien, great to have you with us this morning. You've guided RevPAR won't be achieved. 2019 RevPAR will not come back until 2022. Is that even realistic to think that you'll get back to that level, Sebastien? And is the reality that a chunk of these hotels are not going to come back? Is that a reasonable assumption? And if so, what kind of numbers are we dealing with?
Well, yes, it is reasonable. I guess it's just a matter of actually taking your future in your hands. I guess you're going to be probably missing some business travelers. It's going to be down 25, 30% for the foreseeable future, probably down 10% permanently. But I guess there's a lot of business today we're getting from domestic leisure business we never had before. I mean, as of this minute, in France only, we have more domestic leisure business than we had the same time last year. So retarget your clientele. Make sure you basically seduce them, and then you're going to be probably having a better activities. And in the same token, you've been talking about working from home, working either from home or at the headquarters. There's a lot of new services we can render on behalf of big corporations on using our lobby, our bars, our restaurants, our toilet, our Wi-Fi to accept to have workers no longer going to the offices, wasting an hour in mass transportation, but actually 10 minutes away from their home. Yeah. No longer working at home, but working in the hotel. There's many sources of revenues you can actually tap and basically target.
Yeah, and that working at the hotel theme is really interesting, Sebastien. So I'd like a little bit more detail on that. Are you mobilizing that to the max now, and are you actually getting bookings to that effect? And if so, where most in the globe?
Well, it's been working very efficiently in Brazil. In Sao Paulo and Rio, we're actually converting floors of rooms into offices by taking the bed away. It's just a question of actually offering large corporations through a subscription model the way for them to use the 5,000 hotels of Accor network in 110 countries. And again, offering that third alternative to their employees where you don't have to go back to the office, but we don't want you to stay at home because you're actually too confined. So wait until it's going to be deployed too soon. We launched it exactly a month and a half ago. It has to go through those large organizations. But I think there's something there to be tapped. Again, we cannot just be blind and basically immobile, just act.
Okay, I've just come back from Greece. 50% of the hotels on that island were closed. 60% of the hotels were closed. This gives me a sense that a lot of independent operators are going to fall away. They're not going to make it. They don't have your cash pile, Sebastien. Correct. So you say make hay in the domestic market. Are you going to buy more? Will you actively look at opportunities in mainland Europe, or where is the most appealing location for you to pick up value and new relationships?
Well, certainly in Europe, where it's been really a debacle. Same thing in Asia Pacific, in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and other places. But, you know, at the time of the day, as we speak today, we have been catastrophic numbers, again, expected one. It is a time to be disciplined. It is a time to basically restore this company, get agile, and it is a time for me to finish the job. I turned this company from an asset-heavy to asset-light. It took me 4 years. I've never really done the transformation of the corporation as a full asset-light company. So, which is why I'm actually been working for the last 2.5 months of turning 7,000 stones up and down and basically trying to take this company simpler, leaner, more agile, and less complex, less fat. So I'm really focusing not on M&A at this stage. I'm focusing on trying to make this company ready and preparing for the future.